You know what I just realized? First of all, this is Teague's Take, the short take. So I'm glad that you guys are here. But man, I keep learning about all this technology JT has. And for the first time out of all time we've been doing this, I saw this on air button pop up on my screen. Good Lord, I need to pay attention to that a little
Hmm.
bit more. He's looking at it and it turned red on me. It says you're on air. And we want to talk about some stuff. This is not on air, as far as literal sense of how we use in football when you're just trying to go against people. It's really about alignments and how does the offense gain advantage and what do you do to combat that on defense, right? So we don't. I don't want to show you the play yet, JT. It's either angle is fine, but when you're looking at this from the back angle, and this is a still picture, and this is Alabama versus Kentucky. Kentucky being on defense, and you kind of look at this. Can you imagine what Jalen Milroe is looking at right now? So first, JT, this is some type of 3-4 something, right? Or no? Or do you think this is a shade, a four-man front, a four down? Are you counting the guy over 45?
I'm
As a
gonna I'm gonna
man?
say it's a 3-man front. It looks like it's four because you got the fullback up there on the line and you got a tight end, but the center is obviously in front of Jalen Milroe, so you've actually got a zero and either you got a four eye on one side for sure, and there's probably a four eye on the other side. So it's probably the typical mint front four eye
Absolutely.
zero four eye, and then they just have a backer or somebody walk down over 45 because this is technically a bunch
Yeah.
over
Do you
here.
have the ability to draw still or
Yes,
no?
yes.
Okay. So can you just for people that may not know what a zero is, a one,
Zero
two, three, four, four
zero is head
I.
up on the center, um, and all even numbers are head up on a particular lineman, right? So if you're head up on the center, that's a zero. If you are head up on the guard, it's a two. If you are head up on the tackle, it's a four. And then if
So
you want,
are you going to confuse them with the tight end?
no, I'm gonna leave the tight end alone. Somebody in
Okay.
the comments can ask me about it, or somebody can try to explain it in the tight because it doesn't make any sense. It's not very hard, but it just doesn't make sense. Because it's not a six. If for those who are wondering, it's not a six. Um, so if you want inside shade of any of these guys, you tag it with an I, and an outside shade is an odd number. So we're calling this guy inside shade of the tackle. So he is a 4I. He is head up on the center. So that's a zero. You could make an argument that he's outside shade of the guard, which makes him a three and not a 4I. But the important thing to note here is it's the same gap. It doesn't matter. He's responsible for this gap right here.
That's right. Okay. Thank you for that. So didn't want that to go over people's heads. All right. So when you look at this and you try to say, man, it sure look like when you just eyeballing this, JT, it looks like they got a lot of people over to the left of the screen or the left of the offense. Now we got a lot of blockers over there too, right? There's two,
Yeah, so you
four,
got
five,
one,
six.
two, three, four, five, six on one side of the ball, which means you have five on the other side. That's the quick math. Now, there's a little bit more of a way that I like to count a little bit, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you talk about that though? Because you say that. Do you always say? Do you count the zero to that other side? Or do you not count them at all? Because he could go either way.
yeah, so I do what all great mathematicians do. I just draw a line right down the middle of the formation, and I say, hey, well, half his body's on this side of the line and half his body's on the other side of the line, so he counts as a half on both sides. He can't be a one on both sides, and we can't eliminate him. So I would say you have one, two, three, four, five, six, and a half over here, which means I have half, one and a half, two, three, four and a half on that side.
Okay, so from now on the how do you count this on offense then? Because you got two halves. If you're
Yeah.
talking about your center and your quarterback, but anyway, I'll let you.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. It's the same thing, right? I got one, two, three, four, five, six, half, half. So I've got 7 on this side for the offense, 6.5 on this side for the defense, which also means if you just go ahead and put these together as 1, 2, 3, there's a guy out here. So there's 4, right? I've got 4 over here versus 4.5 for the defense over here. So I just drew a lot of numbers on the screen. I'm gonna get rid of them. What we're what you're looking at is it looks scary over here, right? And this is what we were talking about via text. It looks scary over here, and it looks like the play probably should go this way. But if you count and you use those halves, you're actually outnumbered on this side.
right.
On the right side is the side that you actually have you're down half a man per se, and you actually might want to consider taking your chances where all of these people are at.
Okay, excellent. So why don't you go to the other play? So when you think about what JT just said, and you look at this simple running play that actually was pretty good, I feel like we kind of attacked those little half spots, right? Uh, so why don't we see what Alabama decided to do when they ran the ball against them? Well, that's just a simple old zone play, right? Inside zone. Would
Mm-hmm.
you agree? And so there's nothing fancy about it. And actually, JT, I think they end up, if you go back to the beginning, if you can highlight their zero, again, their nose, he actually goes to his left. So he becomes a full body to the other side. So
Yeah,
now we really got him.
yeah. They're it looks like they're trying to feed the running back, and this is typically this is not a typical play, obviously, because typically when you've got offset like this, and maybe you can look at the depth of the running back and say, hey, this isn't going to be the case. But when you got a running back that's side by side and you're going to run zone, typically the running back's going to cross the quarterback's face, which is why it might just be part of their stunt or play call or whatever, but that might be why he's working back to this A gap, because that could be the rule that this week, right?
Yeah, because they even have the play actions where he'll go behind the quarterback. You can hand it to him, do some play action, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, side note, I didn't think I just hate the stance of the running back like that when you're standing straight up. I see it so much now. They just, I don't know. I try not to be so old school. You got to bend over and put your hands on your knees and scan. I just don't like the straight stand ups. But anyway, so that would be nice footwork by him. Lassick kind of taught us a few things about that a couple of weeks ago. There's effective play that we actually went to the side where we had them outnumbered, even though it doesn't look like it to the normal eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so we are always outnumbered a little bit because we keep a lot of people in our chat when we do this on Wednesday nights. We had a great one. If you missed the one with Ryan Fowler and Howard Richards, man, you need to go back and check it out. It was absolutely awesome. Click on that, hit the subscribe button, okay? Hit the bell so that you know when we put these out, because there are going to be more of these to come. And just remember, wherever it looks like that it might be cloudy, there might be some daylight in there because this one went for 17
17.
yards, 17 yards right into the thick of the heat. So we appreciate you guys, and we are going to see y'all again on another short take with Teague's Take. Peace.